I have very big respect for this orchestra because firstly I know about history and I know that my favorite conductor, Seiji Ozawa, organized it 50 years ago and I know first recordings of it. But secondly, of course, main memories about last concert. We played 2 symphonies without soloist. We played Shostakovich Symphony and Tchaikovsky, and everybody was really, orchestra musicians was very enthusiastic. Not only enthusiastic, but very well prepared. So I can tell you that we really played on the high class style. And I have very many memories about rehearsal time, and it was very serious. So when I got invitation, of course I told yes, with pleasure. I think with this orchestra we can do very interesting and special programs, as now when we're not doing beloved for Russian conductors, Tchaikovsky or Mussorgsky or other Russian composers. We have different, we have Glazunov. In the 80s and 90s, when great Mravinsky with Philharmonic came to Japan, they also played Symphony number 5 of Glazunov. Yes. And you can find recording of this live, recording in Osaka and in Tokyo. So I can tell you that I was happy to do something unusual. I'm very enthusiastic about your orchestra because not only young people, but firstly they're very professional. A lot of them well prepared, and they're waiting for me some signals about music. And they have interest, and they listen each other. It is one of the main things in orchestra, ensemble, to understand each other and see what you are playing, what's your role as an orchestra musician. They have fantastic future. I'm very, very, very happy to be here with you. You see, Dvorak concerto, it is of course masterpiece interesting for the cellist because it's extremely difficult. At the same time, it has a very important orchestral role. It's sometimes like symphony with a soloist, big symphony. And this concerto is so full of interesting Slavonic and Czech tunes, melodies, and every melody sound not only in the orchestra, but with the soloist and then in orchestra. So it is big cooperation between soloist and orchestra itself, very, very rich. So it is a really great masterpiece of Dvorak. You see, we have many composers who compose symphonies, not of them so great as Tchaikovsky, of course, or Mussorgsky or Borodin. But Glazunov was very close friend of all of them. He lived in St. Petersburg, and Tchaikovsky was his also very, very good friend. What is interesting, from one side it is classical symphony, not very long, 4 movements, but same time it is very individual because it has a very lyrical mood. It is not dramatical like Tchaikovsky. It is not such a pictures like Mussorgsky did in pictures of exhibition, you know. It has its own face. What is this face? Firstly, it has lyrical, it's very deep emotions, but not so tragical. It is a very optimistic music, very good for our health. If you feel you're not very good, listen Glazunov music and you will be always much better. Because his music for piano, his ballet, he also, you know, Raimonda, very, very popular. It always has very positive things which help you to feel you to be very happy, to be in a good mood. Secondly, it has very nice colors. Of course, this symphony is the best for Glazunov. You know, he composed 8 symphonies, and it's really the most interesting tunes, but at the same time, it is one of the absolutely individual pieces in our Russian symphonic repertoire. I'm happy to do it here. In Europe knows that Japanese audience is very, very special. Firstly, they're always open for everything. They want to understand what's happened on stage. They want to understand, and at the same time they're very well prepared, very well informed. You see, you know that I'm very often in your shops for CDs, and you can see very many people, young people, who are buying this and listening CDs. They know very many things about Russian music, about, I'm sure, about Glazunov, about Dvorak. At the same time, they feel very quickly the level of interpretations. Yes, and usually they are very, very proud if the orchestra, for example, Japanese orchestra plays well Russian music. And I remember long lines, long queues me when I gave them autograph after the concert. Long, something like 45 minutes, you see. And it's my very good memories about smile of them when the maestro, oh, thank you very much. I have more than 50 CDs, and a lot of them bring me a lot of these CDs and asked to put autograph for this. I was very surprised. I myself forgot. So I can tell you that Japanese audience, one of the best in the whole world. One side, very well prepared, educated, very well educated, and secondly, very open for any news. And this great combination, you see, because, for example, in Europe, audience, they always think about the program, what I will listen. And they listen before recordings, so they know what this piece is, for what, you see, and what it means. Great audience.